A rundown of events at today's Licensing Authority hearing, details on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Monday, March 25th, 2013. I'm Sarah Colvin. After being closed for many months, new owners are ready to reopen the Regatta restaurant in Katuitt. The new manager has experience not only in several Cape restaurants, but also as general manager of the Regatta itself.
He has extensive experience in the operation of restaurants, having most recently been the general manager and assistant general manager at Beech Tree Cantina in Hyannis. He has experience at Uno's, at Wicked Restaurant in Mashpee, at Heather's in Restaurant, and even more significantly, he previously was the general manager at the Regatta under a prior owner. The owners and Mr. Conley seek to restore the Regatta to the premier restaurant that it was in the area, and the intent is to offer a fine dining establishment similar to what was operated there in the past. And we are happy to answer any questions that the board may have.
Some concern was raised by a resident regarding noise.
Good morning. My name is John Weir. I live at 92 Main Street, and I'm not in a butter, but I'm fairly close. My main concern is the license for entertainment. I'm afraid that at 1 o'clock in the morning it's going to be disturbing. There's a lot of people that live on Main Street that aren't here at the present time, but they are here all summer, and I'm not sure that they wouldn't feel the same way. I don't know how this would be controlled by the group, but I do think it's a thing that could get out of hand for performers, and then the live amplified music is what concerns me the most.
Thank you. You've heard the concerns, and I think you've already tried to address them, but proceed.
We will be happy to work with the neighbors, and obviously we want to be a good neighbor. We want to be there for a long time, and if there are any issues with the neighbors, Mr. Conley will work with them to satisfy their concerns.
Now, this entertainment going to be ongoing, you mentioned perhaps just during functions? Or are you going to have regular entertainment?
The hope is that they would have it on a regular basis, but starting it probably will be functions. Obviously, they have to rebuild this business because it has had some difficulties in past years, so they're hoping that the business will evolve.
The Licensing Authority approved that application. The restaurant plans to open as soon as the license is approved by the State Alcohol and Beverage Control Commission. Well, a new restaurant will soon open on Main Street. The owner and manager of the new Compound Bar and Grill were before the Licensing Authority this morning.
Well, I'm going to be the majority owner. Sarah is my wife. She's going to be the manager. I'm involved in a couple of businesses in the same field in Boston, and we bought this bar through, actually in this courtroom, through bankruptcy court, and we are in the process of doing some minor work, painting and stuff to get it ready for whenever we can open.
License Authority member Richard Scally did have some concerns about the new owner's previous experience.
I'm just curious about, we had a conversation on the phone about your past record, and I guess drawing to the attention of the commissioners, there's two issues. One is, I guess, at your Quincy location, there's a meals tax issue there, so that's going to come up again on this application. Have you straightened out the that issue?
Done by the 22nd of March, we did that.
Okay. And then the other location you own is McGreevy's.
I'm a partner in it.
So what is your involvement with McGreevy's?
I'm a partner.
So you're there on a daily basis?
No, not at all, not at all. I
You're
just
not
get
there.
a profit and loss end every week.
So there is, I guess, the issue of there's a couple of violations that are
With
there with McGreevy's.
regarding?
From 2010 with regards to assault and battery on a patron.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with McGreevy's. Is one of the biggest bars on Boylston Street.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a standard procedure. I don't think any charges ever came from it.
Well, it looks like that you got a warning on that, or it was placed on file.
Correct.
So is this location going to be anything like McGreevy's?
Absolutely not. No, we're going to be. McGreevy's is. It shouldn't even be on an application form. I'm a minority partner there. I happen to put it on there, but it's more of a sort of a rock venue close to Fenway Park. This is going to be a little bit more than pub crawl, closer to fine dining, with acoustic music at best.
Concerns were raised as well about the occupancy number, as well as questions about whether it could be considered a nightclub.
Get operational to approve it under 100 total occupancy, but I think we should have a definitive plan at some point indicating how many patrons and how many staff.
Yes, and then from our standpoint, a floor plan that includes to-scale seating and such would be utilized by the building commissioner to determine the adequacy of the exit path. In other words, you may be able to stuff in a particular number of seats, but then there's no exit passageway through the property. We've had situations in the past where on a plan, it looks very good and there's a large number of seats, but actually from a functional standpoint, if you and I were seated together, neither of us would be able to get out of the seat because they were so close. So the building commissioner has, through his code, a standard for how much space a seat takes, how much space a standee takes, et cetera, and then also what the exit aisle must be maintained at. So they take that square footage out as part of the overall consideration. And so that's what we'd be looking for, is a floor plan reflecting the seating and standing that the building commissioner is able to put a number to. So then that number can be posted, whether it's in the bar or the sunroom or the lounge area. There'd be as per code, there'd be a posting that says the maximum occupancy of this room is, and then it would be enforceable for the evening inspectional services people, and then we'd have a number to go by to grant the license and make a determination as to whether or not it's a nightclub.
That license was ultimately granted. The Compound Bar and Grill will open on the west end of Main Street in the space formerly occupied by Ardeo's. Beth and Todd Marcus of Cape Cod Beer will soon be adding entertainment to their brewery on Finney's Lane. The pair host a number of fundraising events at their space. They want to be able to do so without each time having to go before the licensing authority.
We've had in the past at many of our events entertainment with great success and no incident. And really what we're trying to do is just put this license in place so that we can continue to do those things without having to come back here with any frequency to keep having one-day licenses. We've had the Jeff Rowe Band for the last GASP events that we've had successfully. We had our Earth Day event where we had a couple of different individual people come in and play during the course of that event, which was enjoyable for all the attendees. And again, our biggest concern, as usual, is always about the safety and nuisance factors, and we take that obviously to heart. We just want to, again, enhance the experience of any events that we're doing by having in place the entertainment license so that we can not have to bother you again, as the case may be.
Approximately how many events do you think you'd have? Of course.
With entertainment, I can't imagine it's going to be more than, if we had one a month, I'd say that would be a lot. So
the licensing authority approved that request. Well, now that confusion over Barnstable's package store quota is resolved, Smithfield Markets, doing business as the Barnstable Market, is no longer seeking a full package store license. A few weeks ago, the ABCC informed Barnstable that while currently 14 full package store licenses are issued, the quota falls below that at 9, so no more can be issued at this time. It was announced at today's meeting that the request for a full package store license for the Barnstable Market has been withdrawn. Licensing approved a number of one-day licenses, as well as said yes to a new Class 2 auto dealer license. You can watch today's meeting in its entirety online. Just go to town.barnstable.ma.us and click on Video on Demand. With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin.